cops and our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know. The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right? They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up. And they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint when they thought about it. Because whoever thought of that idea was in big trouble. They had a... Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. Antifa exists. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs, and I'd love kids jumping on my lap.
Hello, users! Once again, I have at the last moment remembered that this has a video feed. So just give me a goddamn second here. We got Max the dog on the bed. Coming up, Max the dog. Bear with me, folks. Max the dog is here. How's everyone going today? How are we doing here? This is April 30th, That's what today is. And this is a dog. I don't know if you can you see the dog? Look at this angel. He's so beautiful. This dog is beautiful, man. Let me just tell you. Oh, pause. I'm gonna cry. Alright, folks. So today, I just want to let you all know that today is going to be a hooting and then also hollering episode. Look at this dog. And so if that's not something that you're interested in, now's the time to leave. If that is something that you're interested in, maybe stick around, I guess. Because that's what we're going to be doing here. That's what we're going to be doing here. I woke up about like 10 minutes ago. So, bear with me, folks. My hair is a mess right now. Let me just say. Like, my hair is an absolute fucking mess. It is such a disaster. I've got like 5 fucking knots in it. And honestly, at this point, I might just, like, what's poking out up there? I don't know. Right? Something's going on. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Brush it on stream. I don't know if a brush is going to be able to solve this problem at this current moment. I might need to do some alternative inspection. Fuck. Anyway, so I got a text message. Hold up. Someone's texted me. Just kidding. It's just an email saying that the stream is live. Thanks a lot, Google. So yeah, today is going to be a pretty wacky episode. Last night, specifically, was pretty crazy. But, you know, really, the whole day was pretty good. But last night, man, holy fucking Lord have mercy, man. Lord have motherfucking mercy. Yo, I need to drink some coffee, man. Hold up. I got an elephant here. This stream is live, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. Today's gonna be worse, man. I don't know if it can get worse. I don't know if it can get worse. Yes, it can, obviously. But like, fuck me. It's getting pretty bad out here. Yeah, I'm drinking hot coffee. I haven't been making cold brews lately. Just don't have the fucking time, man. Just don't have the motherfucking time in the goddamn fucking day to make a motherfucking cold brew. I have no choice. My options are so limited here. Gotta make a warm ass fucking brew. SMH. I'm gonna S your H in a second here, you fucker. Oh, the first sip. I feel it, and there you go. There you go. It's in me, baby. Woo! All right. Let me have a second sip. I gotta get to work, but I'm listening. What the hell does that mean? What the fuck? I gotta quote, get to work. What? Is that like a euphemism for something? There's videos on Twitter where you can witness her lose her voice bitching out. I was bitching out. Last night I got a little wild. I'm not gonna lie. Last night I got a little unleashed. You know, you see Max over there? You see him? He's unleashed right now. That was me yesterday. I was definitely unleashed. Someone had to put a leash on me, motherfucker. And I'm gonna get into that very soon. Very, 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 very soon. I'm just kind of like drinking some coffee and saying hello first. Before I get all fucking hot and bothered. Well, I'm always hot, but I'm going to get bothered. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, what streams were y'all watching yesterday? If you don't mind me asking, like if anyone was watching a stream Because I think Ford Fisher was live, but I don't know if there's any other, like, unedited live streams that were going on. Oh, yeah, there was this other guy, CJTV, right? That guy. But most of the news cameras there, because I was asking them, most of the news cameras there were just, like, in case good footage happens, and then they'll, like, it goes through a vetting editing process, you know what I mean? But they weren't live, so. Was Status Quo live last night? Because I don't think they were. I don't know if they were. I don't know. Man, oh man. Rip Israel? What? What? Oh, they did go live after curfew? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm... like, if you watch VODs from last night, and if someone can find me clips of me last night, like, in any real context outside of just standing there, if y'all could find me clips of last night of me being present on anyone's streams, let me know. Because I'm interested. I'm very interested in that. They went live around 10? Okay. I dipped at around 11-ish. Yo, okay. Man, I'm trying to figure out how to, like, start this. Like, this is gonna be some fucked up shit. Like, this isn't, like, you know, this isn't one of those streams where I'm like, oh, a politician said something goofy. Wahaha. No, this is like, I almost died. This is, like, near-death experience. I mean, if you can just hear my voice, send me clips of that too. Like, I'm just very curious what was captured. I'm very curious. Like, I'm just curious. I'm a curious person. You know, I'm you know, curiosity, it funnels through my veins. You know what I mean? Apparently, Rip Israel is in response to this, empty space. Amazing. 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 That's an incredible message. All right. So we're gonna get on with the recap here. Lord have motherfucking mercy. Okay. Religious festival has a stampede. Religious festival has a stampede and kills 45? I was definitely on Ford Fisher's stream. Absolutely. Because I saw him streaming when shit started to get real. And I think John started streaming, like, slightly after things got really real. And, like, you know, I don't know when he was streaming. But I did run into him a few times. But I think he was streaming, I think he started streaming after, like, the cops chased me one time. And when the cops chased me one time, I was like, I'm staying in the back of the crowd. I'm staying in the motherfucking... Yeah. Read the message after it, you dork. Apparently, Rip Israel is in response to this. At Bethany Morning, smiley face. What happened? And it killed a cat. Alright, I read the messages. No information has been transmitted from those messages. Alright, if someone sounded like me, it was probably me. So? I am very familiar with Ford Fisher's bizarreness. I can tell you that I was hanging out with him yesterday and he seemed like a relatively decent person. It's possible that's how they get you. But I'm familiar with his bizarreness. I'm familiar with his, like, selective, camera angles. That being said, I appreciate his presence and I appreciate his live streams. And that's really all I'll say on that one. He seems like a good guy. After last night, no, I love police now. They were just trying to keep me safe. By pointing loaded firearms with live ammunition at protesters, I felt really safe, man. I felt hella safe. No, links don't work in the YouTube chat. Just like DM it to me or something. Anyway, so I'm going to get into the recap. Okay, so let's fucking go, folks. You ready for this? Look at my goddamn hair, man. Okay. So yesterday was the 9th day of the protests in Elizabeth City over the death of Andrew Brown. And so I've been covering this. I live here, so I've been covering this since it happened. I've been here out in the streets since the very first day, so it's been over a week at this point. And so yesterday was the 9th day. Today will be the 10th day, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so I got a Twitter thread here. And so I didn't get, like, good footage of this, but this first part here I posted was City Councilman Mr. Adkins said that the curfew would be lifted, presuming protesters did not block the bridge after curfew. And so now I want to say either he was lying to us, which is very possible, or he was being lied to and manipulated by the other members of the city council and the mayor because they know that he is a member of, like, you know, the movements here. So either of those things are possible. They did not lift the curfew, but they did push it back down to midnight. However, the Elizabeth City mayor or the city council, whichever one, also instituted this, and I'll get into this later. Blah, 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 blah. The only exceptions to the curfew are for traveling to and from employment, visits to stores, blah, blah, blah. So that's the other thing, is that, like, they're basically trying to have, like, a curfew pushed back so that people can drive to stores. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later. But I don't believe that this curfew was moved for the sake of protesters. I believe it was moved for the sake of small businesses. So, you know, I'll get into that later. And I'm sorry if I'm a little disheveled, but bear with me. So the march starts, and so this is like, you know, 40 minutes into the march, because I was trying to get on the David Feldman show yesterday. That's right, the David motherfucking Feldman show. Round 2, folks. That's right, that's my second round on the David motherfucking Feldman show. Okay, so I'm going to give you my awkward ass experience. Okay, so I get invited on the Zoom thing, right? So I hop in. I can barely hear anything because there's car horns, there's chanting, right? There's all that stuff. And then I'm trying to hear the thing. I put my phone up to my ear, and David Feldman goes like 10 to 12 minutes over. You know, like, I join at like 5:58. Like, I'm hella punctual. And then David Feldman's going off on this rampage calling, like, Joe Biden a fucker or something. He was going crazy. He was out of control, man. And so, like, here I am trying to, like, say hello, but not knowing if I should say hello, not knowing if it's my segment, waiting to see if my segment's even coming. I'm so confused. I want to participate in the march, but, like, I'm off to the side with my phone, right? And then David does this, like, break thing, like an intermission. And so during this intermission, I anticipated being able to speak to everyone. So I unmuted my microphone with the intention of, like, asking someone else in the Zoom room what's going on. But apparently, like, that was just on the stream as well. So I ruined the intermission in some capacity. And so I felt bad. And then, like, the interview happened, and then I put the phone down, and then I joined the march. And that's when this video was taking place, was after the David Feldman show. Or rather, I should say, the David motherfucking Feldman show took place, is when I rejoined the march. Yo, my fucking feet. Oh my god. So anyway, I had fun on Feldman's show yesterday. Hopefully he, has me back at some point. I enjoy the professionalism that his show provides, as well as the platform for me to say what I think. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that I destroyed that intermission. Like, it's a good intermission. I was like, wow, that's pretty nice animation. I destroyed it. It's gone. It's done. It's crazy. All right. So anyway, so everything's great. Energy levels are still very high. And we are going through alternative routes. At this point, because, you know, switching it up a little bit, we go through different areas. And so we're going around the city, some of the major roads. More and more people are joining us, and then we're going to get to residential neighborhoods pretty soon. And again, as I've been describing, and there's my hand, by the way, good stuff. So right over here, by the way, is the liquor store. You know, so I'm just saying there's a lot of cars in the parking lot, so I'm sure a lot of people were trying their best to prepare for the evening. But again, a lot of people have been joining these marches. Hello, Brian Hamilton in the chat. You're using your full name here. I'm in Elizabeth City. This shiz is crazy. It's absolutely fucking crazy. Have you been attending all or any of the protesting? Feel free to respond at your leisure. Anyway, so we're by the liquor store here. More and more people are showing up. More and more people are coming in on intersections, meeting with us. And then so there's a really nice chant of people dancing, telling all the officers to take their badges off, which is great. So I'm going to play this one. Right, and so there's a lot of coppers following us, right? And they're like everywhere. And so that was pretty funny. And so then we start marching back toward downtown. So as you can see, we get some B-roll here. I love the B-roll, you know. I'm thinking about, at some point, uploading all of my little clips into one continuous video. I might do that. But as for right now, for this, I'm just doing B-roll. But yeah, so we start marching back into downtown. The crowd is growing continuously. People are literally getting out of their cars and into the streets, you know, which is pretty nice. There's Domino's over there, which I do not consume, as they put meat in their sauce, which I think is very disgusting. Anyway, so we're marching toward downtown, and that's what's happening. So we're 30 minutes before curfew. We're going through residential neighborhoods. And, you know, it's pretty good. Everyone's, like, super pumped. Everyone's super, like, excited. Everyone's super into it. Everyone's super, super duper into it. People are, again, getting out of their houses into the streets. And it's pretty cool. So, and more people are joining us. This is probably the largest the crowd was. The highest energy so far that I have seen at these protests. People were very angry. People were very loud. About that. They put meat in their sauce. Domino's. Yeah, my brother worked there at some point at you know, that specific Domino's, like at this one right up here. And he told me that they put meat in their sauce. So I don't know if he's that's real, or if he's dumb and was trolling me because I'm a vegetarian and that's like what siblings do, I guess. But I you know, I don't eat at Domino's, so meat flavor, I don't even know what that is. But I think they put meat in their sauce. So anyway, 10 minutes before curfew, we're arriving at the intersection that is leading us toward the public safety building. And so again, this is 10 minutes before curfew. And I want to say, for the last 2 days before this, the police started to enforce the curfew at around 10. And so the idea that we're out 10 minutes before curfew, which is 8, you know, everyone's fine with that. Everyone's chill. So we go to the public safety building. And so there's cops on the roof. This cop here had a thin blue line patch. I was talking to Ford Fisher at this point, and he said he got a picture of this officer right here. I don't know why I'm pointing my finger. Of that officer right there wearing a thin blue line patch. So, you know, I just want to be very explicit that these small town police officers are 100% fascist. There is no humanity. And I know I got into this last night. Or not last night, but yesterday morning. Well, and last night. But cops are not humans. I need you to understand this. I need you to stop treating them like people. They're not your brother's dead. They're not your father's dead. They're not your sister's dead. I understand what it's like, right, to lose a loved one unexpectedly, right? And I'm telling you this right now. This is not your father anymore. This is not your brother anymore. This is not your sister. This is not your son. Your son has passed away. and they have been replaced by a fucking, a husk of cells that is designed and trained to kill people. That is what the thin blue line represents. When you wear a thin blue line patch, right, after some of your coworkers murdered someone in cold blood with assault weapons, what you are saying is, I've got the back of a murderer. My best friend is a murderer, and I'm proud of them. That's what you're saying. So I want to be very explicit. But yeah, these motherfuckers were all over the roof, staring down at us. It was very interesting. And they do this thing where they're like, and then sometimes they go, looking down. It's like, yep, just holding on to something. This is like me when anyway. So the curfew, they start doing the thing where they announce the curfew over the loudspeaker. And so I go over here to check for police, in this direction. And there's very little police presence. And this is what I'm under the presumption of, is that at 8 o'clock is when all the people from the college, and again, I want to be very clear here, that there is a potential violation of the Third Amendment. Everyone who was staying at college dormitories in Elizabeth City was kicked out of their dorms, and their dorms were used to quarter soldiers from the United States military, which I refer to with the police department. So that is a potential violation of the Third Amendment. And I want to be very clear about that. So they're violating the First Amendment by restricting our right to peaceful assembly. They're violating the Second Amendment by not having a well-regulated militia. These soldiers and goons are not well-regulated. They are not well-trained. And so, again, it's not a well-regulated militia. So that's against the Second Amendment. They are kicking kids out of dormitories at college. So that's against the Third Amendment. They are stealing people's megaphones and other adjacent property. That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. I could keep going. These cops in Elizabeth City right now are probably violating the whole entire Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and probably every amendment since then. So I want to be very clear. These motherfuckers are stealing, they are looting, they are rioting. And so around 25 minutes after curfew, again, this is the street parallel to where everyone is. There's no cops here at all. There's none. So what I am presuming is around 8 is when they get up from their little, college, because the college is across town, and they start traveling to wherever the protests are at 8, at 8 o'clock. So they usually get here by 9, and they've got school buses, they've got all that fucking shit. I found this out this morning. My ex is there with the National Guard. Well, good job on the ex, I should say. Oh yeah, the mayor of Elizabeth City, I just want to say this. The mayor of Elizabeth City, she's a fucking bitch. She is disgusting. She is evil. She is a scum bag. And I say that with all due motherfucking respect. Anyone on the city council who supports this curfew is a scum bag. Disgusting, murderer, adjacent loser. And they are going to get people killed. And I'm going to go into that very soon. So 40 minutes after curfew, police are starting to show up. At this point, now, we are under the presumption that this is Tommy Wooten, the sheriff. This is an educated guess based on the head shape. And let me get another photograph of Tommy Wooten here. A lot of people were not sure if that was Tommy Wooten. And I am under the presumption that it is Tommy Wooten because of the head shape. So this is a great photograph here. Amazing. Give me a second. So I want you to look at this head shape. So this is Tommy Wooten, the sheriff who hired a murderer and who has been defending murderers, Pasquotank County Sheriff. So this is his head shape. I want you to look at the hair. I want you to look at the ear. I want you to look at the lack of a chin and all that stuff, right? And then I want you to look at this, right? I want you to compare and contrast. Look at the head shape. Look at the fucking head shape. So this is Tommy Wooten in the public safety building. Are they gone yet? Can I go home? I want to go home. Are they gone yet? Are the black people still in the street? What do I do? Are they gone? Please. So these motherfuckers are looking through the blinds. And so, a lot of people are not confirmed that was Tommy Wooten. I am going to say this right now. Head shape, motherfucker. Head shape. Look at the goddamn head shape. That's Tommy ass motherfucking Wooten. I'm telling you that right now. So then they close the blinds. And then they do that thing where they will pluck open one blind with their finger and look through. And so every time they do that, right? We're just like, you know, we're yelling at them and we're saying like, why are you afraid of us? And it's just really entertaining. Did I see the video of a guy confronting him with the gas? I did not see that video. So around this point where Wooten looks at us is where shit gets real. Riot cops started lining up about 45 minutes earlier than they did yesterday. And so I'm making some bad decisions here. So I decide, you know what? Cops, they're coming out a little bit early today. And it seems like they're walking up right now. So, okay, I want to do a little compare and contrast between yesterday and the day before yesterday. So the day before yesterday, I dipped when the riot cops showed up. Now, my reasoning is, 1, I don't want to get arrested. That's primary. 2, I was really fucking high, and I did not have all of my wits about me in order to deal with a situation like this. 3, I didn't want to get arrested. So I dipped the day before yesterday at this point, you know, in the police escalation timeline. Now, obviously, again, this is about 45 minutes earlier than it was yesterday. And again, I want to remind everyone that Councilmember Adkins told us, don't block the bridge and the curfew will be lifted. Now, again, he did not tell us that the riot police wouldn't try to kill us tonight, but the idea is, oh, don't block the bridge. We listened, and then they use even more force, and I'm going to get into this. This is the part of the segment where shit's going to go down. These motherfuckers drew live weapons with real ammunition and pointed them into bushes, looking for protesters to kill. And I'll show that video in a second here. So just bear with me. They pointed live weapons in bushes looking for protesters to kill. And I'm going to be very explicit. You don't point a live gun. You point a flashlight into a bush, maybe. You don't point a live weapon with live rounds into a bush if you're not looking to kill someone. Because let's imagine someone is in a bush and they move. Well, your instinct, you have your gun in your hand, your fingers on the trigger, you're going to shoot them, right? So if someone was hiding in that location, they could have been murdered. And so that needs to be understood. The mayor, and as far as I'm concerned, the entire city council, including Mr. Adkins, is really borderline on endorsing and supporting the murder of their own citizens. And I'm very serious about that. This shit is fucking ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous. We are adults. We are grown fucking adults. There were no fucking kids there. We were adults. And these motherfuckers, outside agitators, came into our city and pointed live fucking weapons at us for using our First Amendment right to peacefully assemble. 9 straight days of non-violent, peaceful protests have been met with live ammunition being drawn and potentially pointed at protesters. I need you to understand the severity of this. This is not a situation like in Portland where rioters and looters are setting things on fire. There have been no fires. There have been no violence. There has been no almost suggestions of violence. And I need you to understand that this is the most abhorrent use of force. And there have been people that are here in Elizabeth City that have covered all kinds of protests from Portland to Seattle to New York City to DC, and they have said that they have never seen police response to something like this. There are 30 people, and I need you to understand this because I'm getting a lot of the cop footage here. There were 30 fucking people sitting on the fucking sidewalk. 30 fucking people, including press. Now, maybe after the riot cops started to get a little bit fucking crazy, they pushed us back into residential neighborhoods and people started getting out of their houses and offering people places to stay and offering people supplies. But at this point, there were about 30 people, including press, and they spend millions of dollars. Why isn't the mayor requesting that they use these millions of dollars to fix all the potholes in the city? Why isn't the city council requesting that they use these millions of dollars to provide, subsidies for the high electricity bills, because our electricity rates kilowatt per hour have been going up in Elizabeth City? Why aren't they doing that? Instead, they're wasting millions of dollars on this shit to treat grown adults like children. So I need to be I'm getting to the point where I'm going to scream very soon, both in the video timeline and right now. So just be very, very clear with that. Woo! So yeah, they're getting really rowdy, and they're continuing to come. We got the pigs coming up. we are outside of public safety at this current moment. Now, as I said earlier, Councilmember Adkins told us that as long as we don't block the bridge, they'll lift the curfew tomorrow. Now, I want to be very clear, they did not lift the curfew. We did not block the bridge. So we did what was requested. We did not block the bridge, right? And the curfew was not lifted. So again, I want to be very clear. Either the rest of the city council and the mayor manipulated and lied to Mr. Adkins, or all of them lied to us. Those are the options here. Those are the only options. Now, again, I'm very questioning of authority. So I think it's very possible that Mr. Adkins lied to us. I think it's very, very possible. I think I understand why a city council member would want to try to lead protest movements. And I also understand why they would try to infiltrate protest movements and sow discontent, disinformation, and lie. So I want to be very clear. Do I respect Mr. Adkins at this stage? Sure, maybe more than everyone else. But at this point, I'm very skeptical of whether or not he's on our side because he lied to us. He said the curfew would be lifted. Now, the curfew was changed from 8 o'clock to midnight, but they also instituted a rule where you have to file a 15-day in advance permit for a protest. That's not happening. That's not going to happen. And I can guarantee you that I will be speaking to Mr. Adkins today if I see him. So I'm just letting you know that. So they start coming up. And walking right there. I don't know when I'm gonna stop. So yeah, I'm making some bad decisions here. Walking. So they're coming in and I'm walking toward them, making some bad decisions. Toward the riot police? Maybe the worst decision of my life, but I'm doing it anyway. How's it going? So yeah, we're just walking right there. I don't know when I'm gonna stop, so. We're gonna stop like a little bit by this track. Sure. So yeah, they get pretty close. And so now this is the thing where now at this point, they get on a loudspeaker and threaten to arrest journalists and members of the media. And they start doing like the little Call of Duty tagline, you know, where you press like the fucking button and then the fucking voice command happens, right? So I'm gonna play this video. So as you can see, the pigs are fucking around in my neighborhood. I am a grown adult and they're trying to tell me to go to home. I talked to this guy at one point. I did like a little interview on his little stream. Maybe I'll find that later and show y'all.
Officers, is all this necessary? We got murdered a black man.
So yeah, they're standing there, they're threatening us, and then in between these clips, they threaten to arrest journalists and members of the media, including press. And so someone next to me says, you know, like specifies that they've got like a press exemption. And that later on they like literally started chasing press. They chased me as well, and I'm gonna get on with that. But they chased both myself and members of the media, like, and I'm gonna get into that very soon. And so they start moving at this point. So as you can see, the police are rioting in the streets of Elizabeth City, violating the First Amendment of the United States.
This is a riot.
They're the riot.
Y'all scared, right? This is how
and that, now I wanna like, I wanna like put the human angle here. I wanna like the human angle. Now again, proof that these are not humans. Look at how they're dressed. Like I zoomed in on it at some point. Like look at how these people dress. Would you ever consider dressing like this? Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Let's be real. Right? Who dresses like this? Who carries around, like, again, what is with the fucking shields? Again, I want to remind everyone, behind me, I'm in the front of the crowd at this point, making some bad decisions. Right? So I'm making some bad decisions. I'm at the front of the crowd. But behind me are approximately 30 people. 30 peaceful adults that are just sitting around talking to each other. This, millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars being wasted on this for 30 peaceful protesters, basically what amounts to having a small party. To the United States.
This is a riot.
They're the riot.
Y'all scared, right? This is how it goes. You escalate every fucking time.
As you can see, I'm in the front line here, making some bad decisions, but that's what life's about, man. So at this point, you know, they you know, at this point, you know, shit's starting to get a little bit, you know, more, I will say more scary, I should say. So we get into the dark. Now, I don't know if it's coincidence, but some of the streetlights turn off as the riot cops are coming toward us. I don't know if that's coincidence, right? But, like, you know, I've got that paranoid brain. So they're coming toward us. At this point, I'm, like, screaming at them. And, again, I'm still in the front of the line. I'm making some bad decisions. So, okay. Now, just for the sake of, like, a potential alternate universe. Now, this video is being recorded right after this video is done being recorded. And I'm not sure if it's in the video or if it's visible in the video. But in between or during, you know, this video, some members of the crowd of the rioters back here started pointing at me. Now, again, I want to be very clear. I was making very, very bad decisions. But so people behind the rioting, you know, the riot shield people, they call them riot shields, right? They're literally definitively defined as rioters. You would not have a shield of that persuasion if you're not a rioter. It's called a riot shield. It's not a safety shield. It's not an anti-riot shield. It is a riot shield. So these are rioters. But anyway, so they're pointing at me. And so, like, my video where I say making some bad decisions, this was almost my last decision. This is almost my last decision because they almost fucking got me. Like, I'm going to be honest. Right after this video stopped recording, they almost got me. So, like, before I fucking uploaded this, they, like, very, 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 very close to getting me. So, that was pretty scary. But anyway, I'm going to play this.
Some bad decisions, but that's what life's about, man.
So, I make some bad decisions here. And so I get into it. I'm yelling at these motherfuckers. I'm going in. Bodan, I'm going to be honest, Bodan, you supporting neo-Nazis and just Nazis and you supporting Adolf Hitler in this chat is surprising, and I'm going to ask you to please shut the fuck up about that shit. No, these people are not just doing their jobs. That's not true. If someone tells you to kill someone and you kill someone, you're a murderer. Like, unless they've got a gun to your head and they say they're going to kill you and your whole family unless you do this, which I'm guaranteeing you is not the case with police, you are just as garbage, if not more garbage, than the one organizing the hit. So no, don't defend Nazis. Don't defend Adolf Hitler. Don't defend Nazi Germany. That's not what we're about in this chat room. Please shut the fuck up. Thank you. All right, so at this point, the rioters are incoming, and I'm getting pretty heated. So I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I was getting a little too heated. I was getting a little bit too heated. And so, you know, I'm just throwing that out there. But I was getting pretty heated.
Live! Do y'all live here? Go home! We don't like you! Get out of my city! Go home!
Yo, I just gotta say, the fucking move back bullshit. Like, again, on the human motherfucking level, right? Imagine someone walks up to you. All right, bro, I'm gonna give you this big ass shield for our riot, and you're gonna say move back, like, over and over and over again for the next 45 minutes. And you're like, hell yeah, that sounds like fun. You know, I'm just, again, on the human level, I'm trying to understand how a human being is capable of something so stupid.
Go home, outside agitator! Outside agitator! Go home!
I also want to remind everyone, these soldiers, the U.S. military that is occupying colleges and kicking kids out of their homes, these are all from 200 to 300 miles away. So again, one of the common tropes that the media will use and that police will use is that whenever there's protesting, outside agitators come in and start blowing shit up and setting things on fire. And then they use that as an excuse and a defense to attack the actual citizens that are peaceful. Right? Now, again, that's not happened here. That is not happening here. There is no violence. There's no suggestion of violence. These are peaceful protesters, right? But what we do have are pigs, volunteers from 200 miles away. 200 miles. Not 20 miles. Not 20 minutes. Not 200 fucking centimeters. 200 miles. 200 miles. 200, and again, I'm going to say it again, motherfucking miles, right? And you've got outlets like CNN and ABC talking about outside agitators. bitch motherfucker, these are the outside agitators. So that's what I'm screaming at them here.
You're an outside agitator!
So I gotta say, this person over here, super brave, God bless them. I'm probably like the second or third closest to the front at this point. So what I'm doing here, and again, I'm making some bad decisions. Now I'm gonna be very clear. Do not do this at home, folks. Like, I want to be very, 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 very clear, right? Do not do this at home. Do not go to the front of a protest. Do not, like, scream at riot cops. Don't do that. Unless you're a crazy motherfucker. And so I'm a crazy motherfucker. So again, I'm continuing here. So this guy over here aims their gun at some point. Now again, I don't know if it's being caught. I'm going to try to pay attention. But I did see some people around this section behind the rioters with the shields. Some of the rioters in the back were pointing at me specifically. Some of them were pointing at the other people. But some of these people over here were pointing at me. And I want to be very explicit about that. And I don't know if that's visible here. So as you can see, this guy aims their gun. Now, I believe that this is a less lethal weapon, but it's still a weapon. They aimed their gun at an empty street. And so again, and then they stand at this this crosswalk.
Put the gun down, you fucking child!
So about, like, I'm not gonna lie, about like 10 seconds after this recording, now, y'all know, like, billiards, right? Where you, like, you know, where you got the stick and you shoot the 8-ball and, like, it breaks everything up in the triangle. Like, that's basically what they did, right? Someone shot the ball and they broke up in the triangle, right? And so about, like, within 10 seconds after this video took place, like, the motherfuckers that pointed at me, like, start chasing me, right? Now, again, I want to remind everyone, I'm, like, either second, third, maybe at this point, fourth in the crowd, like, as far as closest to the rioters. And so the rioters break loose and they start rioting and they start looting. They start snatching people. And it's pretty fucking bad. It's pretty fucking bad. And so one of these guys, like over here, starts chasing me. And so I bolt. I'm out. I'm done. I'm out. So I get the fuck out of there. They start chasing me. And so I run, like, down the street. And so I come back at this point because they stopped chasing me and they snatched someone else instead, and they went back to their little position. So that was my first time being chased by a cop in Elizabeth City, and it probably won't be the last, but it was pretty fucking scary. But it gets a lot scarier, and I will explain why for the rest of the night. That was, like, one of the least scary things to happen, is the first time the cops chased me. Yes, the first time, folks. And so yeah, so here's this little video.
Pigs just snatched someone.
So I'm, like, out of breath. I'm horrified. I'm like, you know, I'm thinking to myself, should I go home? Should I continue to make bad decisions? So I choose to continue to make bad decisions.
I'm staying a little bit back. They just broke the line, snatched someone, violated the First Amendment.
And so yeah, so that's what happened there. I'm gonna, like, I interviewed someone who got arrested last night. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post this as a full clip on my channel instead of doing commentary over it, because I don't want to detract from their experience, and I think it's important as for just, you know, for the sake of uploading the raw footage. But I will upload that as a raw video after the stream at some point. So anyway, so at this point I'm staying back. I go to recon parallel streets like I was doing earlier. They have school buses, so you see at least 2 of them. So they bust in, again, outside agitators were bust in from 200 miles away to riot in the streets of Elizabeth City and to loot and steal people's property and people's lives, potentially. So then I decide I stopped recording videos because I didn't want to have my camera on me. At this point, I didn't want to be in a situation where I'm holding my camera and they start chasing me. This person was arrested the day before yesterday. They were arrested. They were the one on the loudspeaker the day before yesterday that the cops chased when I did footage yesterday. And so that's who this is. So they got released and they talk about that. But I want to upload that as a separate video so that it's not like, you know, bogged down by the rest of this. So I stop having my phone out because I don't want to be encumbered. And so again, I decide, all right, so option 1, leave, go home. Option 2, make bad decisions and stay. And so I choose option 2 at this point. Also, one of the other things is my route home, right? My route home. Now, I want to be honest. That's my route home. This direction is how I get home. So another...
As you can see, they got fucking buses lined up down the street.
Right. So another aspect of these bad decisions that I'm making is that, like, I literally, like, can't get home because there's rioters occupying the streets. Again, outside agitators bust in from 200 miles away rioting through the streets. I felt unsafe because there were no law enforcement officials enforcing the laws, and they just had a bunch of rioters coming in from 200 miles away trying to fucking attack people. So that's another thing that happened. And so I tweet this out. I'm safe. Twitter threads. What is going on there? I'm safe and got chased, but escaped and I'm on the way home. So again, I covered the first part where they chased me. And the second part where they chased me is where, again, I was not, you know, at the front. I was not, like, you know, the second or third or whatever person in the front. I was in a group that was, like, in the middle of the street. They were at the end of the street. The press was with the police for the most part. And then you had a bunch of other people at the other end of the street. And I was with a group in the middle of the street, just kind of like trying to eyeball them, keep in mind what's going on. And so again, they break the line at some point, and like everyone starts running. And so I just start running. I get the fuck out of there. I'm, you know, at this point, I say goodbye to everyone who I know is still there. I tell them, you know, like, I'm going to go home. I'll let you know when I'm safe, you know, all that stuff. And so I start saying goodbye to people, and I start going home. And I want to be, like, this is not the end of the story. This is not the end of the story. So I want to open up another tweet here. And this is extremely important. So Ford Fisher was on the scene documenting some of those protests. And on the way home, he saw a sheriff, who knows, an outside agitator, pulling a live firearm, a pistol of some description, a live firearm, and pointing it into a bush. Right? And this needs to be shown. As you can see, this motherfucker has a live firearm pointing into the bush. A live firearm. Now, why am I telling you that that is extremely bad? Well, one, again, let's assume you're a cop, right? Let's assume you want to kill people. You are a cop specifically because you want to kill people. Why else would you want to be a cop? There is no other reason why you would be a police officer other than you enjoy inflicting pain and suffering on people that don't deserve it. Okay, plain and simple. Again, 80% of police voted for Donald Trump. 40% of police spouses self-reportedly are abused by their police spouse. Right, that's self-reportedly, so the number is much higher. Now, again, if there was a protester in this bush hiding from the rioters, which, again, there are rioters and looters running through the streets of Elizabeth City wearing blue uniforms, gangs being bussed in from 250 miles away, rioting through the streets with guns, right? Again, if someone was in that bush and they moved, right, and then, like, the bush moved, or it's like, you know, that cop would have probably fired the weapon. They had their finger on the trigger. They probably would have fired the weapon. And whoever was in that bush, if someone was in that bush, would be dead right now. So I want to be very clear. This is an extreme escalation of violence. An extreme escalation of violence. And I'm going to be showing this video to every single person I see at these protests. I'm going to be making sure the mayor is aware of these videos. I'm going to be sending these videos to everyone on the city council, and they are going to know that they are responsible for almost killing their own civilians. They are responsible for nearly getting their own voters murdered and massacred by outside agitators that are just here looking for trouble. Again, why would you volunteer to go on a 200-mile road trip to a city you've never been to and never heard of, right? Because you want to kill people, because you want to hurt people. There is no other reason to do so. You would not do this for any other reason than to inflict pain and suffering on people that do not deserve it. So the reason why I mentioned this, and I'm so heavy about this, because on the way home, right now, I mentioned before that my way home was being blocked by these buses. So what I ended up doing is taking a very roundabout detour through the residential neighborhoods. And so there are cops in these residential neighborhoods patrolling the streets, going up and down, right? The streets, looking for people to snatch, in my estimation. Now, I'm not going to risk playing that. I'm not going to risk, like, what if they're just there to be, protect my safety? No, they're not. If a cop would have saw me on my way home, I would have been snatched. I would not be doing the show right now. So multiple points on my way home, I run from police cars. And I hide behind buildings. At one point, I literally jumped into a bush. I hid behind a bush for like maybe 2 minutes or so. And I want to be very clear, is police cars were not driving to the scene. They were not driving to the action. They were slowly driving through the streets, parking in an intersection for like 30 seconds to a minute and a half, and then, going somewhere else. They are looking for people to snatch. They are looking for people to snatch. They are looking for people. They are going to radio people's whereabouts. They are looking for people to hurt, maim, and snatch and kill. That's what they're doing. And so again, I was hiding in a bush last night from police. And then I get home and see this video of a police officer pointing a loaded live weapon into a bush. Now, thankfully, this was not the bush that I was hiding in, but I was hiding in a bush from the rioters that came into my city last night, and that could have been me in this bush, and I could have died. And I want to be very clear about that this is unacceptable. Everyone on the city council should resign, plain and simple. I'm going to be honest. The mayor should resign. Everyone in the sheriff's department should resign. They have all failed, unequivocally failed their duties and responsibilities to protect the citizens of Elizabeth City. This is a small, peaceful motherfucking protest, and they had people point live guns into bushes to search for people to kill. Okay, so I want to be very fucking clear. All right, every single member of the city council needs to fucking resign. They need to leave Elizabeth City. Move the fuck out. You have betrayed your fucking fellow civilians. You are a traitor by all definitions of the word. The mayor needs to leave Elizabeth City. Get the fuck out of my goddamn city, because this is the hell that you have unleashed on our civilians. And why? Because y'all motherfuckers came into my neighborhood, shot and killed someone down the motherfucking street, and are afraid to even hint that you have any culpability for that. The mayor, the sheriff, all the deputies involved, they're trying to ping pong back and forth. It's not our fault, it's their fault. No, it's not our fault, it's their fault. No, it's not our fault, it's their fault. How about it's all of the fucking above? You stupid, dumb fuck wastes of goddamn fucking oxygen. Get the fuck out of my fucking city. The fucking mayor, the fucking city council, the motherfucking police department, the sheriff's department, and all these motherfuckers from fucking every other goddamn motherfucking county in motherfucking North Carolina, these outside agitating rioters being bussed in to my motherfucking city to try to kill a fucking crowd of 30 peaceful protesters. No one has guns in our crowd. No one is pointing weapons at the police. No one is driving into the police. No one is threatening to kill the police, but they are threatening to kill us. And the fucking city fucking council is responsible. All of them. Every single fucking one of them is responsible. The mayor is responsible. Every single fucking police officer that is in Elizabeth City is responsible. The fucking sheriff of Pasquotank County, all of them, march out in handcuffs. Not only do I want you scumbag motherfuckers to leave my goddamn city, not only do I want you scumbag useless pieces of shit to resign in shame, but I need you to be marched out in motherfucking handcuffs, because you are trying to kill not only me, but my fucking neighbors. You have killed my fucking neighbors, and all of you are too fucking afraid to accept accountability and culpability for cold-blooded murder. That's what happened with Andrew Brown. They had motherfuckers on pickup trucks with assault rifles, and they shot and fucking executed Andrew Brown down the fucking street from me. And then this is their bullshit. They're not going to accept responsibility. They're not going to fire people. They're going to bring bus in from 300 miles away, dumb motherfuckers with live weapons to try to hunt down and kill protesters that have been nothing but peaceful. All of them need to fucking go. March out in handcuffs right fucking now. And I'm sorry for fucking screaming, but again, that could have been me in that bush. I had to hide from police on my way home. You got fucking school buses. Drive us home. If your thing, oh, we're gonna protect and serve the curfews to keep people safe at night. All right, I'm calling your bluff. Give me a ride back. You got school buses, bro. Give me a ride home. Why do you have a school bus if you're not going to go around town dropping people off? Right. They have a school bus because they want to use force. They have a school bus because they would rather spend millions of fucking dollars spending on rioters and thugs with guns to try to pressure and kill civilians. Why can't we fix the fucking potholes? Why can't we regulate electricity? Why can't we have clean fucking water? That's right, Elizabeth City has poisoned fucking water, by the way, at least in my neighborhood. I noticed that in some of the more upper scale neighborhoods, they don't have poisoned water. But in my neighborhood, the water is fucking poisoned. But we can't afford clean water, just can't do it. You can afford to waste millions of motherfucking dollars on this dumb bullshit circus show, but you can't give us free fucking goddamn clean motherfucking water? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And if anyone that lives in Elizabeth City watches this video, and you are like, whoa, this person's a little I'd like to see how you would feel if you had live weapons pointed at you. I'd like to see how you would feel if you have been nothing but peaceful and these motherfuckers are pointing guns at you. I'd like to see how you would feel if your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your cousin was shot in cold blood on international television, and then everyone who's responsible is trying not to take the blame. How would you fucking feel? Because if you are afraid to stand up for what is right at this moment in time, I'm sorry, you're a fucking coward. And I'm not talking to the elderly people. I'm not talking to the kids. I'm not talking to people with disabilities that can't go out and protest. I'm talking to the Facebook people. I'm talking to the motherfuckers that go on Facebook and call, like we had some motherfucker last night, come out of their house into the crowd and call people the N-word over and over and over again. And like shirtless, disgusting, beer belly fucking shit for brains. I'm talking about these motherfuckers. I'm talking about the conservatives. Because this is a southern town. Half of the people here voted for Donald fucking Trump. Okay, I need you to understand. These motherfuckers are crazy. Okay, all of them are batshit fucking insane, and they all need to get their fucking shit together. The mayor, resign, march out in handcuffs. Everyone on the city council, resign, march out in handcuffs. You are responsible. If someone was killed by cops last night, which they very much could have been, you would be responsible, and therefore you are just as responsible for these people that you allowed to enter our city. They wouldn't be here if it weren't for a curfew. They wouldn't be here if there was no curfew. So anyone who's on the city council, I'm sorry, shut the fuck up and do something. Shut the fuck up and do something. Law and order? Bitch motherfucker, there is no law and order anymore. There is no fucking law and order. They drove down with pickup trucks and assault weapons and shot and killed my neighbor in cold blood. Law and order is out of the fucking window. So if you're telling me you're a member of the city council, oh, my hands are tied, can't do anything, don't have the votes, resign. Resign. Do it. Resign. Join us. Join the people of Elizabeth City. Stop sitting on the fucking fence. Resign. Or get the fuck out of the goddamn fucking way. Because I'm sick and fucking tired of these rioters being bussed in to my goddamn small goddamn motherfucking city of peaceful motherfucking goddamn protesters to threaten to kill us. I am tired of that fucking shit. And why? Because these motherfuckers came into my goddamn motherfucking neighborhood and killed someone in my fucking neighborhood. That is why we are protesting. We are not protesting because someone raised the taxes by 0.2%. We are not protesting because, you know, we need potholes to be filled, which are all perfectly valid reasons to protest. We are protesting because y'all motherfuckers came into our fucking neighborhood and killed one of our neighbors. That is why we're protesting. We're not protesting over a traffic ticket. We're not protesting over a fucking speeding ticket. We're not protesting because, you know, like a stop sign, you know, was hit and a new one needs to be installed. We are protesting because a gang of white supremacists drove into my neighborhood and massacred one of my neighbors in a school zone. That is why we're protesting, right? We need to understand that, right? Peaceful protesters have done nothing. We have done nothing. And we have had outside agitators from upwards of 300 miles away bust in with live weapons, and they unholstered those weapons and pointed them in bushes with the intent to kill people that were hiding from them. Why do you think people would hide from people with live weapons? Huh, I wonder. Law and order? My fucking asshole. Shut the fuck up. Do your goddamn job. Pieces of fucking dog shit. Anyway, that's my segment. And I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, and maybe this is something I should not say on a live stream. Like, and in fact, I'm not gonna say it on the live stream. I'm not going to. But like, what the fuck, man? JL, $10. I have come to the right place. WikiFeet did not lead me astray. Oh, thank you so much. CJ Fernandez, $5. In high school, I wanted to be a cop because I thought I could help people. Then I got a security job at a hospital. I've been working in the medical field. That's awesome. I'm glad that you made the right decision there. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna show this video of the cops drawing a live weapon to any member of the city council that I see today at the protesting. I'm gonna show it to protesters that I see. I'm going to make sure that as many people as possible in the whole world know that these motherfuckers from 300 miles away unholstered their weapons to try to shoot and kill people that were hiding from them, fearing for their lives. Was almost a death sentence. Again, I was hiding in a bush, right? And again, like, it could have been me that was in that bush. It very well could have been, right? Like, if I see motherfucking people, like, you know, patrolling, and I can't run, right? And running makes noise, right? Hiding in a bush is a good option. Hiding behind a house is a good option, right? So it's like, these motherfuckers were patrolling alleyways, searching for hiding spots. What the fuck is that shit, man? The fuck is that shit? Can you give us the link to share? What link? What are you requesting? Can you show the video again? Yes. So this is a video that Ford Fisher got of police investigating in alleyways with a live weapon being drawn and being held in firing position as they search through a bush. They pointed the gun down into a bush. A live weapon because they thought someone might be hiding from us. Maybe we can get a free kill. That's what they thought. Hey, maybe I can up my kills. Maybe I can get my 18th kill today. I'll just take my gun out and look in a bush. Maybe. That's what they did. It's the mayor's fault. It's the city council's fault. It's the police's fault. It's Tommy Wooten's fault. It's all of these motherfucking fault. Roy Cooper, where you at? Joe Biden, where you at, motherfucker? Where you at? I don't see you. Yo, dude, I am pissed. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I am pissed. Like, y'all motherfuckers, like, if y'all watch, like, any of the footage from last night that's not mine, Lord have motherfucking mercy. Lord have motherfucking... So I open up Twitter. And this is, like, totally out of left field. But I open up Twitter, and this is the first thing I see. Lord have motherfucking mercy. I'm just saying, I opened up Twitter for the first time today. And that's the first thing I see. Crazy. Anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm like really pissed off right now. So. What's going on with the FBI investigation though? What is going on with the FBI investigation? Do their fucking job. Why don't they do their goddamn fucking job? Look at this fucking piece of goddamn shit. So I haven't seen this video before. Let's watch.
You deploy this many law enforcement agencies in this city when there's not that type of momentum happening on the ground, but then you get preconceived notions that they're coming into an area that is highly aggravated. When it's not, it sends a certain message that amplifies the violence that's happening to people on the ground that's peacefully trying to just walk the streets. And if you have seen that, now I don't know about the damage to the car. I'm not arguing with you to say that it did not happen. But for the majority of the part, can you not agree that people have just been walking?
Walking, yes.
But we still see a curfew and we still see riot police. Why is that? When people are just frustrated and they just want to...
And I want to remind everyone, this video was recorded before riot police. Not even riot police. Fuck that. Rioters. Before rioters had live weapons pointed at protesters. At least where they thought protesters could be. Right? So I need you to understand. Like, people could have died last night.
People are just frustrated and they just want to amplify their voices, but then they're met with such a brutal force. Is that not a way that you can de-escalate that? Can't you call off? Hey, that's the thing that you might need to think about, Sheriff.
I would implore you to call.
Look at that. Can you call it off? Yeah, I'll look into it. Bye-bye. Fucking pig piece of shit. This is the guy who hired a murderer. This is the guy who operates a department of murderers that got on a pickup truck with assault weapons and shot and killed one of my neighbors. That is this guy. He'll look into it, my asshole. Fuck him. This motherfucker needs to be in jail right now. Right now. Right the fuck now. Send Tommy goddamn motherfucking Wooten to motherfucking prison. We don't have a society anymore. I'm going to be honest with you right now. Like, we don't have a society anymore. Like, I live in a small motherfucking town. We do not, like, why are there 300 miles away police departments showing up in our small town? Why is that? Because this dumb motherfucker hired murderers. They got on the back of a pickup truck looking like Al-Qaeda, entering a small neighborhood that I happen to live in, to shoot and kill someone for what? Oh, for drugs. For drugs. He might have had drugs. By the way, they searched his house. No drugs. But he might have had drugs. Woo! Drugs. Let's kill someone because they might have had drugs. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I'm done with that shit, man. Fucking drugs. What a bunch of shit. What a bunch of goddamn fucking shit. Fucking drugs. Killing someone over goddamn fucking drugs. So goddamn stupid. Oh, Lord have mercy. My hair is a mess, man. My hair is a fucking mess. Yo, Bodan, I'm gonna be honest right now. Like, if you can't handle me being angry because I almost died, then maybe you shouldn't watch the stream for a while. Like, I'm just being honest with you. Like, I almost died last night, and your response has been, but the cops are actually some good people. Why are you so angry? You know, not all cops are bad. They're just doing their jobs. These motherfuckers almost killed me, Bodan. What don't you understand about that, bro? Come on. Get your fucking shit together. I'm serious right now. Like, this is bullshit. What you are doing right now is bullshit. So someone goes into my neighborhood and kills one of my neighbors. I'm not allowed to be upset? What? Cops point guns at me? I'm not allowed to be upset? Cops patrol bushes with live weapons? I'm not allowed to be upset? Come the fuck on, man. Go outside. Like, seriously, touch fucking grass, Bodan. I'm not joking with you. You are living in a fantasy fucking world, man. You are living in a goddamn fucking fantasy world right now. If that's the shit that you're seriously typing in my goddamn fucking chat. He learns his lesson in the second act. I hope so, man. I hope so. And I'm going to be honest. Yes, I was raised in an unfavorable family. I mean, that's true. That's true. I mean, that's not wrong. But that has no bearing on whether or not me being almost killed is something that I should or should not be mad about. You know what I mean? Rose, Andrea, I love you and you rule, but your Discord and chat is full of cowards. I disagree. I disagree. I think we have some radical people in this chat and in this community. But I also think not everyone here is capable of doing what I'm capable of. Like, I consider myself relatively, if not pretty healthy. I am able to run. I have successfully ran from police several times in the last 12 hours. I guess 13 hours. You know, so like I wouldn't go to a protest if I can't run. I'm not going to a protest, you know, if I've got asthma and I don't have my inhaler with me. I'm not going to a protest if, you know, to be honest, I voted. Voting is nothing to be ashamed of. You vote, and then you do stuff the next day. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I understand. Like, y'all can yell at Bodan, because I'm gonna be honest, Bodan deserves it. Right now at least. But, like, I really don't want to have, like, infighting in my community as much as possible. It makes me uncomfortable. And I'm going to be honest, like, there's been times over the last couple months where I've had viewers, like, get, you know, upset at each other for things that, you know, sometimes I consider frivolous. But I would very much so prefer that people are nice to each other as much as possible. Because we're all on the same page here, man. Except for Bodan, honestly. Bodan's somewhere else right now. But for the most part, we're all on the same page. And so I just hope that no one holds grudges. Like, I mean, if you get called a cuck, I mean, like, let's be real. Like, you might be a cuck, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right? But, like, also, just don't hold a grudge, man. Like, we're all on the internet. You know, we all have that thing where, like, you know, we yell at people and say mean things on the internet because it's, you know, we don't see an actual person there. I get it. I understand. You know what I mean? But, let's keep our eyes on the prize. And let's focus on what we can all agree on. Like, if we have slightly different tactics when it comes to how we protest the government, that's fine. If you voting for people that are not incumbents is how you protest the government, Okay. Catherine, you gotta stop holding grudges, man. You just gotta do it. You need more mushrooms. Grudges are not cool. Just get rid of them, man. See that? You see the grudge, right? Now imagine, right, all the weight on your chest right now. Imagine it just disappears. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to hold grudges. Like, yeah, you can say, like, you know, that person said something stupid to me a while ago. Don't hold it against them. Well, it doesn't have to be binary. You don't have, you know, I'm not trying to yell, but, like, not everyone is either good or bad. You know what I mean? Someone can say something stupid because they did not fully understand what the conversation was about. And they're emotional and made a quick decision. You know, so like I've said stupid shit. I've said a lot of stupid shit. You know what I mean? Hello, Jenna. I voted too many times, but nothing ever happens. I love you all too much to allow any more people to die. Even if it kills me, that's how much I love people. I don't care about myself. I'm all in. I am in the same boat as far as that is concerned. Like, I mean, I wouldn't go out at 11:30 at a police riot if, you know, I weren't at least somewhat willing to die. I mean, let's be honest. Like, these motherfuckers pointed guns in bushes. That could have been me. I could have died. I understand it's a very unlikely chance. Maybe like 1 to 5% chance that I'll die. But I mean, if that's how I die, you know, that's how I die. I mean, there's not much I can do about that other than stay home, which, like, I'm not going to stay home. I'm not that kind of person. You know what I mean? Like, I am fully able. I am fully willing. I have experience. I know things. I have information. Right? I am, you know, I would be useless out at, you know, home. I am someone who, in my personal calculus, is someone who needs to be at a protest. If there's a protest going on, especially for shit like this shit is crazy. I mean, I have to participate. And if that means that there's like a 1% chance that I'll die, okay. I'm willing to throw those dice. If that means that there's like a 10% chance I get arrested, okay. I'm willing to play that game. But, like, I play that game with full understanding that because I am at a protest, right, I am there to be the voice and the body of, you know, dozens and dozens of people who are physically or mentally unable to be in those situations. You know what I mean? Like, again, there are people that would love to protest that are disabled and can't do it. You know, there are people that would love to protest, but, you know, like, they've got, like, you know, mental conditions, like, you know, anxiety or something, and that prevents them from being useful. And you don't want to go to a protest and be a liability either. Like, it's okay if you can't go out and protest, right? You don't want to be liable for, like, you don't want to have an anxiety attack at a protest and distract like 8 people, and then because they're distracted, something bad happens. You know what I mean? So, like, if you're in a position where you're at a protest and you're a liability, it's okay to go home. You don't have anything to prove to anybody. You know what I mean? I would love to protest, but I'm disabled. Thank you, Andrea, for all you do. I mean, yeah, there you go. Dude, we got some dumb motherfucker in the chat, and I'll like, this chat is dead as fuck. I mean, there's people posting like every 5 seconds. What does that mean? This chat is dead. Like, I'm sorry, if you're gonna come into the stream to try to do this like weird gotcha, especially while I'm talking about serious subjects such as murder, protesting the government, and police riots. Like, if I'm talking about like fucking like eating fucking, you know, cauliflower for breakfast or something, and you want to come in and troll, fine. But we're having a serious conversation about protesting the government, about people being murdered, right? And you're coming into the chat room to try to do some like weird force the vote thing. I'm sorry, man, but like, what the fuck? Consider therapy, bro. Jesus Christ. I'm out here on the streets doing real shit, and you're trolling over force the vote? For real? For real? Like, I'm not trying to like make myself seem like a superhero, but like, I'm literally putting my life and well-being on the line. Like, I could get shot with a pepper ball in the eye and be blinded. I could get, you know, shot somewhere in this in you know, center mass and have an organ fail on me. Right? And you're coming into my chat room doing this force the vote trolling? What? Like, I'm sorry, but like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, and I say, like, if you want to come back and apologize, feel free to send me a goddamn email. That's fine. But you're banned until further notice, because like, that is some serious mental illness. And I say that with all due respect. I've got mental illness. All my friends have mental illnesses. That is some serious, like, legit borderline psychosis that you're experiencing. And I hope you get help. Lord have fucking mercy. I couldn't imagine doing force the vote trolling at this point. Jesus fucking Christ. Lord have motherfucking mercy, man. My voice right now. Yeah, I mean, Rose, like, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Like, you know, chill a little bit. Like, chill a little bit. Like, that's all I'm saying. Just chill a little bit, man. I wish the whole world could hear the truth you were preaching. Yeah, me too. I mean, that's the plan. You share with your friends, you share with your family, right? I don't know. I understand getting worked up. I feel you. I feel you. It's all good. Sometimes people get pissed off. It's okay. But, like, you also gotta understand that, like, you know? You're not getting pissed off and screaming into a pillow. You know what I mean? So, just, you know, as long as you understand that. Everyone's taking their dumb juice today. That's so true. Man, my brain right now is like broken. I was gonna fucking do another segment, but I can't remember what it's about. Whatever. I'll do it tomorrow. every one of us here, because we care and we are here on our own accord. Each of us have different opinions, but I feel we all share a common goal. Thank you, JL, for the super chat. That's well spoken. The status quo clip of them trying to pronounce my name. I don't know, should I? I mean, like, that's so... It is funny. It is funny. That is funny. But is it funny enough? Is it funny enough? I will say that my name is pronounced Andrea, so I don't know. I don't feel like queuing up. I don't know. I can't do that right. I can't do it. Not happening, folks. Sorry. Have some food. I haven't eaten since 3 o'clock yesterday. Jenna Nix, $5 Canadian. Sleep! Yo, I just slept. But yeah, I haven't eaten since about 3 o'clock yesterday. Ford and I went to a pizza place for lunchy. And I was going to make food last night, but then I didn't. So, and I was going to make food this morning, and then I slept until like 9:50. Can I do a Q&A? You can ask me anything right now. By the way, I just want to say, yes, I love the super chats, right? But again, I am in a very volatile situation right now. Like, I could incur medical fees, like tremendous medical fees. I could incur serious damages to my person or my property over the next couple of weeks. And so I don't get YouTube money until the 21st of the next month. And so who knows if I'll be in jail in the who knows if I'll even have access to that money on the 21st. You know, so I'm just, if you do want to contribute, and I appreciate the super chats, and that's, you know, it's still amazing. But if you do want to contribute toward me protesting specifically, and if you want to contribute to me getting safety equipment and supplies for protesting, PayPal or Cash App will be your best bet for that, because I get the money instantly. And so I'm just throwing that out there as a PSA. I understand it. It could be an extra step. I understand. And if you know, and if you would not, and if you have, you know, it's whatever. Do whatever is most comfortable for you. I'm just telling you, like, again, I don't get the money until like the 21st, and that's like 23rd really is when I actually get access to it, because, you know, the withdrawal timeline and all that shit. So PayPal and Cash App, I get it now, and so like if some shit happens, you know, I'll have more money to work with to get myself out of a potential bad situation. Realon, 70s R's, heart with Fox hugging it, I think. I don't know. Those are so weird, but thank you so much. But yeah, it's all good, folks. It's all good to fly off the handle sometimes. I flew off the handle last night. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, again, like, I was making hella bad decisions last night. Like, this bad decision, this one, where I'm like, you know, very close to the riot police, you know, and I'm screaming at them. That's a bad decision. Like, I need to be very clear. This is a bad decision.
Like you!
Right? If you are someone that cares about your physical safety and well-being, that is a very bad decision. But, you know, sometimes you make bad decisions, and sometimes you're better after the fact as a result of them. And now, I don't know if that's the case for me personally, but that could be a case for a lot of people. If you fly off the handle and people tell you so, and that leads to you having some sort of like epiphany, or, you know, that leads to you like being more calm in the future, then it was worth it. You know what I mean? So, Abovers. Fucking abovers. I just call the show Abover. Doing another abover over here. Thank you, non-applicable, by the way. And also thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. I'm probably going to piece the hell out pretty soon here. So again, I appreciate people showing up. And again, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you again, like, you know, just to be clear, I'm very scared about what's happening in my city. You know, it's a legitimate possibility that over the next month or so, I incur severe physical pain or trauma. So, like, you know, I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, like, it's one thing to go to a protest as, like, press in a city you don't live in. It's another thing to protest in the city that you live in. Right? You know, I don't know. It's like a whole different calculation because, like, I live here. So it's like, you know. Mila, $5. Just have to kick in something. Please stay safe. Thank you. Thank you. Shut up, socialist. Sorry, buddy. I'm not, like, you're going to have to try harder for that one, to be honest with you. You're going to have to try way harder. Please stay safe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, and I want to be very clear, like, a lot of my friends, a lot of my family are very worried for my safety, and I understand that. Rielon, I would say even if you don't use Twitter, to just follow my thread anyway. Like, just open it up in a tab and refresh it, because I've you know, just been posting new stuff there. So it's like, you know, just follow the thread, like, open it in a tab and refresh it every hour or so. I would say it's worth it if you want the real-time updates. Because, again, you never know if that's going to be, like, the last video I ever post. Could be the last video I ever post. Like, again, I almost got snatched several times last night. So, you know. Yes, of course, Coco. But yeah, I mean, there's a very high chance that I will not be safe. Right? So I'm just, like, I'm throwing that out there. And I am fully lucid in my understanding of what I am involving myself in. And again, I just want people to understand that this is my position. This is what I feel like my role is. And so this is what I mean. I'm just going to be honest. Like, I'm someone that goes out and protests the government. So, and if that makes you uncomfortable, because you're concerned over my well-being, I appreciate it, and I wish I could make you more comfortable with that. And this is just an open application to anybody. But I mean, again, this is, I don't know. This is what I do. I understand it's not safe. I'm fully aware it's not safe. And so I appreciate people telling me to stay safe, right? But I mean, staying safe would be staying inside. Staying safe would not be going outside at all. Being in the front of a line screaming at police officers is definitely not being safe, you know? And again, I need you to understand that this is stuff that I do. You know, this is what I do, so. I understand, Jedinix. I get you. I'm just like, you know, saying that for posterity. It's in the record now. If I get snatched tonight, that's in the record. You know what I'm saying? So. Thank you all for the Cash Apps, by the way. I appreciate it. To everyone that has done so. On the disagreements we've been having, Michael Brooks used to talk about his vision of an emotionally intelligent, mature left, which has been able to work through its disagreements as comrades. For sure, for sure. I mean, for sure. I hope that that's what this show and this community is, and can be. You know, that's exactly what I aspire for. I wish they'd have a crossover. I mean, feel free to reach out to Demon Mama. I'm okay with doing crossovers. I don't have much time at the current moment, you know, with all the things going on, but... Hey, Sarah, by the way. How's it going? Now, again, I wanna touch base on the Bodan thing. I'm gonna be honest. I stopped reading all of that after I last weighed in. So, like, everyone that has spoken to Bodan, I've not read your message. Like, I'm just gonna, like, I just took a break from that discourse. But before I go, I just want to say again, it's okay to have the wrong opinion, right? It's okay to do that. Like, if someone comes into my stream, you know, being a huge Donald Trump fan, and then 3 months later they're an anarchist, I consider that a win. If someone comes to my stream thinking that drugs make people criminals, and they come out of my stream, you know, not thinking that anymore, I consider that a win. I want to move as many people I can, as far left as I possibly can. So, and I also understand Bodan's position of having a lot of people basically tell you you're dumb. And, like, let's be real. Bodan said some really dumb shit. Like, let's be honest. Like, you know, we had some disagreements in this chat room today. Bodan's dumb shit was probably number one, but that's okay. Everyone has it. Like, every day someone has the dumbest statement in the chat. You know what I mean? Every single day someone accidentally says something stupid. It happens. Now, it doesn't happen as often where they say something stupid and then dig in their heels for 40 minutes, you know. But I understand pushing back if you have a lot of people going after you on something. I get it. It makes sense to me. So, and I want to say that, you know, I still like Bodan, even though they're, you know, parroting, like, actual, literal Nazi Germany talking points. Like, I'm, like, seriously, like, parroting actual Adolf Hitler tier. Like, I understand that, right? But, like, you also have to understand that fascism and Nazism is deeply embedded into global society and culture, right? Oppression, state violence over active police forces is embedded into global society, right? So you have to understand that people's default, like what you are trained, if you, like, have no one to tell you otherwise, your default understanding of the world is that the cops are mostly good people. That's your default take. And so I understand how someone who doesn't have as much experience as maybe we do would say something so stupid. And I get it. You know what I mean? It's understandable to me. And again, I did not read anything after that discourse. Like, you know. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't criticize Bodan's bad opinions. Right? Absolutely should. But, you know, I just want everyone to be happy, so. I agree with your disagreement. Thank you very much. I agree with myself. But I mean, like, honestly, like, I've got some radical takes that no one in the chat room would agree with, to be honest. I think we should outlaw fast food. I think we should ban sugar. I think we should, completely rethink police, and law enforcement. I believe in prison abolition. And not everyone in the chat does. I have some pretty out there, bonkers positions that not everyone can agree with. That being said, I do not support a ban on menthol cigarettes. Though, I do support a ban on sugar. You know what I mean? Like, not that it's doable. And also that's the other thing. It's like, when I say I want to ban sugar, I say that with full understanding that that's not going to happen ever. Right? And so when I advocate for that position, I mostly want to advocate for it on a personal level, to have people personally improve their lives, That's my position. So when I say I want to ban sugar, I mean y'all should stop eating sugar right now. I don't mean that the government necessarily should step in and prevent you from doing so. But I mean stop eating sugar, motherfucker. What's your view on sex work? I love sex work. Huge supporter. I got a lot of sex worker friends. I am familiar with the craft. 10 out of 10. And I love sex. There you go. Sex is great. Work, not so good. But I mean, combining the two, it's like, the ultimate centrist position. You know what I mean? I don't understand why the Democrats are so afraid of sex workers. It is literally the ultimate fence sitting. You got work. Everyone hates work. Right? And you got sex. Everyone loves sex. Well, I mean, meet in the middle. Oh, come on. Like, unless you're one of those motherfuckers that loves to work. Or, like, you could be asexual. I mean, that's possible. But, I mean, I'm just shouting you out. I see you. I hear you. But, I am not one of you. I will say that right now. Actually, you are a cam girl in a roundabout way, sure. Sure, if I highly recommend watching the entire VOD if you have time for it later. Some real big shit happened on this stream. But anyway, again, thank you all for watching. I appreciate everyone for being here. Again, I just want to say that even if people disagree, I would prefer they don't disagree. Oh my, why be asexual when you could be sexual? A space sexual. That's amazing. That's a great question. That's a great question. One that does not necessarily require an answer. We're just asking questions here, folks. We're just asking questions. So with that being said, thank you for watching the stream. Thank you for providing me with monetary support during this turbulent moment in my life and in human history. I appreciate everyone for being here, even Bodan and even Felix. I understand that y'all hate each other right now. It's all good. Man, it's Friday? Bob Carmody. Majority report today. Casual Friday. Bitch, motherfucker. It's Friday? What? It's fucking Friday? Are you joking? Anyway. Again, I know that y'all have your opinions on each other. But, I don't support, like if Bodan came into this chat room for the first time and said that shit, I would have probably have banned him. You know what I mean? But I understand that Bodan is not from the USA. I understand that Bodan is not familiar with a lot of cultural stuff from the USA. I understand that Bodan also isn't a native English speaker and therefore can maybe misunderstand certain words and their weight behind them, possibly. And And I think that we should all understand that too. So, you know. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'm going to upload that video of the person that got arrested last night as a separate video, and y'all can watch that. Felix, I'm not saying it's an excuse. I'm definitely not saying it's an excuse. I'm just trying to explain that people are all in different moments of their life and in their radicalization and in their understanding of the world. You know, like when you're a kid, you don't understand the world. When you go to school, you are taught lies about the world, and therefore you don't understand the world, right? And everyone has a moment in their lives where they become radicalized, or at least on the track to understanding how the world functions, really how it functions, and how dangerous the way that the global system of capitalism is. Everyone has their unique journey of how they get there. Not everyone gets there at the same time. And so, you know, and sometimes it takes a while. So, go watch Good Morning Comrade if you want, you know. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Today was a very cathartic show. Yesterday was a very cathartic show. I'm mad at what I saw last night. I'm mad about what I saw the night before. And I just want everyone to love each other. I want everyone to be happy, and I want everyone to be safe. And I'm willing to fight for that. So I'm willing to put myself out there to accomplish that. Even if I can make I lost my train of thought. Anyway, thank you all. Have a good one, and I will see you again later.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly, and the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up, and they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped was at the deal standpoint when they thought about it, because whoever thought of that idea, I think, is in big trouble. And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick, because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup for my family. They're so innocent. This is soup for my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it in the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick, because it's got force. It's the perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup for my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. And then they have cans of soup.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
They felt pretty comfortable after day 2.
What happened is that the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. And then they have cans of soup.
Get your words straight, Jack.
As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.